$30. So if you know whiskey business at all, we love a good whiskey, but we also like to have our Tuesday whiskey where we don't spend as much money on it. And we want to be able to afford to drink whiskey every night. And therefore, you need to have a good $30 or less whiskey. So if you go to our website, you'll see ratings for whiskeys at all kinds of different tiers, ranging from $15 up to $1,500. But we try to focus in that 50 or below. And today we're talking about great whiskeys under $30. And what we're going to do is we're going to round robin between all of us. And we just lost Steve. Steve having connectivity and inebriation problems. And so he may be back. And if he is, then we'll go ahead and let him do his spiel. But
he'll only be back if the voice is in his head telling him.
It's true. And maybe he had a little too much fun where he is.
Yeah. So
he's down a bar.
He's on vacation. He started with margaritas at 11 a.m. He did a flight of Japanese whiskeys around 2. And he's done about a quarter, 1 o'clock. And then he did about a quarter of a bottle of the whiskey he's going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
And who knows what else. So I think we should get right into it. And we should talk about great whiskeys under $30. And we're going to start with Tyler.
Oh, that's right. Me.
So Tyler, what is your whiskey and what do you think about it?
All right. So we all know that I'm a Scotch person over a bourbon. I love my bourbon though. However, today I went for at $29.99 in the New Hampshire liquor store, Monkey Shoulder. So I've had this a couple times, and every time I've been a huge fan, and it goes down quite a bit too easily, I would say. So we're going to try it live. It's been a little bit. But the cool thing that I noticed about this is that it is made up of, I believe, 4 different Speyside single malt scotches. So the nose is good. Let's see it, Ray. I just popped it.
While he's pouring it, I'll say that we had a whiskey tasting contest amongst us, and we had, I think, 5 different ones, all scotches, and we thought the one that tasted like ass was the Monkey Shoulder. It was a blind taste test.
Hang on.
And it turns out that was one of the most, not all of us, but a lot of us did. But that was one of the most highest rated ones out of the group.
Mostly, we thought the Monkey Shoulder was kind of garbage.
Yeah.
But I haven't.
It turned out that it was pretty good. It was the Octoshunk, which was the
Octoshunk was the worst.
That was bad. That was really bad.
Ooh, that is good. This is absolutely worth under $30. And I will say that I was on a work trip, and it happened to be a nice area where you could go sit outside around a fire pit. And actually, Steve was with me at the time, and we were about ready to go in, and someone happened to go and DoorDash a bottle of Monkey Shoulder. We're like, I guess we're hanging out, and we killed 2/3 of that bottle that night with 2 other people. So that's how we know.
First off, you can DoorDash a bottle of Monkey Shoulder
when you're in California. Yes,
I think you can do it
awesome.
here in New Hampshire too.
Like that. And second off, okay, good.
Yeah, this is absolutely fine and perfectly lovely whiskey for under $30. Again, it just hits that price point because it's really hard to go and find a Scotch under $30. But granted, this is blended. It's not a single malt, but it's blended single malt for the most part. I don't believe it has anything else besides single malts in there. But like I said, I recommend this any day.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, a lot of times when you think about a cheaper Scotch, you think about a Johnny Walker, red, black, and those really are ass. But
don't talk about red. I wouldn't wash paintbrushes with red.
No, but the black, you can. The black's acceptable at a wedding where they only have that or Cutty Sark.
Well, yeah, okay.
Cutty Sark.
All right. You want me to punch you in the head or punch you in the nuts?
Exactly.
What do you want? All right.
Okay. So Tyler, I have a question for you because I know I'm a bourbon guy. You're a Scotch guy.
Yep.
So Spey, so the River Spey is in the northeast of Scotland, but is that all it means? Is just an area of the geography, or is there a characteristic?
So it's a region of Scotland. So
Region Scotland.
It is a region, but each region has a style that they stick to.
yeah.
Like, what's the style of Speyside compared to Islay or Mountain?
So, like Highlands, generally, and this is my opinion, and I can be completely off from what all the real whiskey connoisseurs know and everything, but I've always considered Highland very like sweet, very elevated, light. Speyside tends to have a little more spice to it, and generally speaking, like Islay, those are the three main categories, if you will. Islay tends to be smoky or peaty.
Yeah.
You know,
I would
What's
say
like-
you also have
roughly-
Campbelltown and a couple others. Yeah, what was that? And Lowlands.
roughly the Highland is more like a bourbon. The Speyside is probably more like a rye. And
That.
yeah,
I mean, Highland, I'd have a hard time equating that. Bourbon has such a unique taste.
it's the sweet. It's the sweet of the sweeter of the Scotch flavors. So, all right.
Oh, this is delicious, though.
Well,
I'm
we
getting
don't
hungry.
have Steve, so we're gonna move on past Steve, and we're gonna go.
Wait, I wanted to stop you right here because I know that you had like an update for last show.
Oh yeah. So Steve
about
so-
the
Yes.
Japanese
Okay. I will.
Because
It's
again,
important to get this done early in the show, is the point.
It is important. So I am going to actually stop sharing. And so give me 1 sec to do that. There we go. So last episode, we talked about Japanese whiskey. And we talked about comparing it and is it good? I think is it great or is it garbage was the tagline.
something like that.
And
Mine was
my whiskey was Ryujin. And I spent about, I don't know, 70 or 80 bucks on this thing. And I said that it had a strong medicinal smell. It was like a rubbing alcohol kind of smell, but it tasted pretty good. But I was already 4 drinks in,
Oh, you're being conservative there,
at least.
John. Come on.
For John Pour. So if you want to, so my John Pours, if you can tell right there, the John Pour is at the top line. So we got a single, a double, and a John Pour.
Yeah.
So I was in pretty good, and I tried it the next day, and it tastes like rubbing alcohol as well.
Little hair of the
So-
dog in the morning, or
Yeah,
where did
that
that
wasn't in the
get?
morning. It wasn't in the morning. It was, but it was.
Y'all can go down this road of whether Japanese whiskey is good, but you're gonna come around and realize what Larry and I have been telling you this time is that it's all garbage.
Yeah, no,
It's not all.
100%
First of all, it's not all
disagree.
garbage. The
100% disagree.
Nikas are lovely.
The Nika
They're
coffee brand
serviceable.
is really
And-
good.
and I hope Steve can join back up. We'll find out. But Steve just did.
Yeah.
Steve just did a flight of Suntory whiskeys while he's on vacation, just to prove our discussions about Japanese whiskey. So
And-
all the listeners requested more information on Japanese whiskey. Steve took it upon himself to go all the way to Florida, find an Asian restaurant, and go and have a flight of Japanese whiskey.
And all he needs now is an internet connection. And
That
if
was-
he comes up with one, that would be awesome.
Well,
So-
Otherwise,
again,
we'll
he's
But it
also
was such
probably
garbage, guys, that he
multiple
had to
drinks
drop
in
off.
too. I'm sure he couldn't figure out the internet at that point.
Well, so the story was that the house lost
You
power.
just had to change
and
a
the
tube.
internet went out, and the landlord told him to reboot the house and turn off all the power at the breaker and see if that brings the Wi-Fi back. So that did not. All right, Chuck, you're up. What are
All
we
right.
talking about?
So
Speaking
for
of-
my under 30, I went with the Old Forester. Now this one is a little bit over 30 because it's the 1.75, but clearly for the 750 you can get that. Now that is a perfect bourbon for on the rocks. It does get a little bit watered down pretty quickly. It's perfect, straight up. It's perfect straight out of a bottle. You can even put a paper bag over the bottle and drink out of it. It's perfectly fine any which way you want to do that because it just has that kind of versatility. So that's what I really like about it. It is definitely an everyday drinker. You can have it, like I said, just about anywhere. Don't do it while you're driving, of course. We got to put that disclaimer in there. But other than that, have it and enjoy it.
So
I'll
Chuck,
say
you
two
gave us,
things.
you gave us 5 different options. Which one's your favorite? Is it in the bag? That's what I think.
So it depends. It depends on the day you're having, and it depends on where you're at, right? So normally I will take a couple pulls out of a bottle sometimes if it's been one of those kind of days. But normally I will have it just straight up in a glass, civilized like, not my
Everybody
habitat.
on this
Wait, wait, wait,
podcast
hang-
has
hang
seen
on.
Chuck drink directly from the bottle in a paper bag.
Yes, thank you. I have seen that many times.
But I did
I have not
actually
yet.
I upgraded because I did get a Crown Royal bag at one point, so
That's
I
true.
did kind
Oh,
of
the
I
velvet
did
bag.
kind of upgrade it.
Yeah,
It
velvet.
didn't change the taste. I just want to make sure that everybody
you
knows.
draped your Forester in
The
velvet.
velvet is classy.
It is.
Yeah, it makes me
Seems
feel
like a
better.
downgrade.
I
Going
like
from
it.
Old
I like it.
Forester to Crown.
So, and I will say that so we all kind of round robin on what we were going to choose. This would have been my pick under 30 as well. This is my Tuesday bourbon. This is what I drink. I have several bottles in the house at any given time, and I'm a big fan of it. I will say the other one that I'm a big fan of, since Steve's not going to be rejoining us, I think we're all a big fan of Larceny as well.
Yep.
That's my.
And
Yes.
Larceny is a great,
Also,
serviceable,
I will tell you that it seems
very,
to me
very
like,
tasty.
like the Old Forester just goes down way too quickly. You know what I mean? Like the 93 Old Forester, it's just
So you're saying it costs more because you drink it faster?
because I drink it faster and I drink more of it
Yeah.
and become more of a degen. If you go to the 100 Old Forester, it has a little bit more of a bite, but just as damn good. And
Yes.
you have a tendency to slow down just a little bit.
What's the price point on the 100 though, Ken? That's
It's
a little bit
$1
over
more.
our.
It's in
It's
like
$1 more.
$2, I swear to
Oh
God.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because my
It's like within like
favorite
$2.
No.
my favorite one from the Old Forester series is Old Forester Statesman, but that's like a $50 one, and that's
Yeah,
93 proof.
No, that's
Yep.
like
Yep.
a whole larger thing. But
Yep.
just like
But
the
now-
line 100 proof one, it's like $2 more. It's better in an old fashioned because it's got a little more bite to it, and you have a tendency to drink it slower. But I take the 86, and the next morning I come out and put my stuff back in the bar and went, oh holy crap, I drank way too much of that last night.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
Is
It's
that most nights though? Is that most nights?
Oh, I drank too much. It was Larceny. Oh, I drank too much. It was Woodford. Oh, I drank too much. It was Forester.
Yeah, I didn't go and drink that entire bottle, my friend.
Yeah, it's like holy crap! I thought
then
I
we
had
opened
two
up
of these.
another bottle?
Oh wait, I did have two of these. I drank them all.
Bottles.
Yeah. Our drinking team has a podcasting problem. So, all right. And moving on, I'm gonna take the next one, and because I wanted the Old Forester, that would have been mine, but I'm gonna throw a curveball. So what I chose was Jim Beam, but it's not. So I was gifted for my birthday, I think it was about a year ago, a whiskey aging kit. And what it included was bottles, and I'll show you the bottle. And it included oak staves that were charred. So they already had the charcoal char on them. And you put the whiskey in the bottle, you put the stave in there, and then you let it sit for however long you went. And I think I went 6 weeks. And the Jim Beam, if you look at the color of this does not look like Jim Beam. If you look at the image and you look at this. And so this is the whiskey business blend of Jim Beam. And I'm going to open it up and I'm going to try some of this. And it's actually pretty good. And I went to Ken, who is our former bartender. And I asked him, I said, I need something neutral. I need something that's not offensive, something neutral that I could use for this experiment. And the recommendation was Jim Beam. I think it's a great recommendation because there's nothing wrong with Jim Beam. It's just kind of, it's the ginger ale of whiskey, right?
It gets you where you want to go. I mean, that's the bottom line.
It's the meh of bourbon. It's just meh.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the color of this
Look
is
at
lovely.
that thing. That thing looks gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
just to reiterate the point, I mean, Matt and I were out skiing today, and what did we have? We had nips of Jim Beam with us.
Right.
You know,
Which we didn't drink, by the way.
yeah, we'll save that for next time.
But it's got a great smell. It actually smells, I think, sweeter than I would expect Jim Beam to smell. It's great, and I would say that this is the equivalent of what I would pay $40 for, on a at an Angel's Envy level, maybe a mid-tier Woodford, so little bit better than regular Woodford, not double oak.
Okay.
It's in that place. So I think it's awesome. And so,
So,
the point
John-
is that for you, if you can take a whiskey, you can change it.
So-
Whether that's putting it in a mixer, putting it into an old fashioned, or aging it yourself, and you can make that something
So
special.
John, how long did you go and age that one? Was
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
And
That's
that
a-
was
that's a
that
short
was what
turnaround.
in a small barrel in the bottle.
No,
What-
in this
how did you-
bottle. So
in that bottle. Okay.
I bought a fifth. I put it in this bottle. I put one stave, and
What
the
used to
stave
be
has
in that
got
bottle?
lots of surface on it. It's got holes in it.
There was a lot
It's
of
probably the size
evaporation.
of a cigar. It's about the size of a cigar with holes drilled in it, and it's all charred all around. And I put that in there for 6 weeks, and it was great.
All right.
Nice.
By the way, I'm pouring more monkey shoulder. I'm out.
You do that. Fair enough. All right. So now, there's the Whiskey Business logo on the Jim Beam. And now to Ken.
We're going to me. All right. So what I wanted to do was revisit a bourbon of my youth. I know it sounds very degen to say a bourbon of my youth, but basically, when you were a kid and you wanted to just like drink, what you had your choice of was Jack Daniels and Jim Beam, neither of which I feel like drinking. But if you had an extra buck in your pocket, what you would do was you would get the Wild Turkey 101 because, well, 101 is better than 90.
I can't wait to go and I've been waiting for your review on this because you and I have opinions
Gets to
on
the
this.
point right away. Now, in doing this, I actually, shocking, I actually, prepared ahead of time. So, and looked stuff up. I know, shocking, right? So basically, there's this guy named Jimmy Russell. Jimmy Russell was the person who's been engineering this thing. He is the longest running bourbon guy in the world. Flat out. He's been doing this since 1954. He's been the person engineering Wild Turkey whiskey. So it's been basically the same thing since the 1950s. He brought in his son, who started at the bottom part of the business, and then that guy became a master distiller in 1981. Both of those guys are still doing it. So it's no joke. They take this seriously. This is not garbage whiskey. This is something that they take very seriously, and they think it's good.
1950s, you said, Ken? I mean, that's almost as long as you've been drinking.
Jeez. I came out of the womb drinking, but anyway. Since
We are from Connecticut.
1954, that guy has been a master distiller for this particular whiskey. Now, I have not tried this since probably I was, 22 years old.
How much was the bottle, Ken?
Sorry. It was actually $28, $27.99.
And I pointed out, by the way, multiple times you can go and get like coupons for like $3 or $4 off too.
True, but like the
Being
thing
a
was,
solid
is
degen here.
like generally, I would walk into the store and I would buy Old Foresters off the shelf any day of the week because it's $23, like $23.99 or whatever, right? And then I went, okay, I'm gonna go find Wild Turkey. I found it, picked it up, and went, it's actually more. Let's see what this tastes like.
And it's funny because the fact that it's 100 proof, I think is exactly the point of why you prep to go and make an old fashioned, because anytime you go and mix, I mean, it goes in like a higher proof absolutely brings out more flavor, in my opinion.
Not a lot of scent coming out of it or anything like that. Let's give it a shot.
While he's drinking, Tyler, I would absolutely agree with you there. Those, higher proof whiskeys are much better.
You know what?
Yep, 100% Larry.
Kind of high rye,
Yep.
a lot of spice, a little hot.
That's expected
you know
with
what?
101
Look.
proof.
I'm not kidding you. Damn freaking good. All right, but here's the real test.
Okay.
Before we started today, so I prepared an old fashioned insofar as I took some bitters. I went with walnut bitters this evening and a Bing cherry instead of a maraschino cherry because I've been kind of going down the Bing cherry road. And
Is that the Bada Bing ones?
yeah, and of course you need the ice ball.
Yep.
Put that in there, and let me just.
Let's see. you didn't really stir it much.
He spun the
Totally.
ice cube, the ice ball. He spun
But with the ice ball, you're normally supposed to stir it a bit. It helps dilute the whiskey a little bit, so it
Well, I
doesn't
don't
go
really
out.
want
So
to
Tyler's
dilute it.
telling the
You wanna
bartender
get-
how to
you wanna
how to
get the
do an
cherry
old fashioned.
Oh no, he's rushing. He's rushing. That's all. I'm just pointing out.
Oh jeez.
We don't know what that was.
No one wants to know what that was.
No clue.
That was my wife saying goodnight.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Ken's wife. We're not gonna say your name live, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually really good. You know what? I will keep this in the cabinet to make old fashions with.
Dude, I told you.
I'm telling you, this is not a problem at all.
So
So again, I kind of, I poo-pooed the entire thing because it was, bourbon from my childhood, but it's damn freaking good. You
So,
go ahead
and,
and
and again, in fairness, one of the things that I was searching for, I could not find at the New Hampshire liquor store, was that a lot of people go and speak highly of the old granddad, like the bottle and bond, like the higher proof ones to go and make old fashions and everything like that. And I could not find it.
well, like the flat out old grand, because
No,
again,
the
this is
higher
one-
proof
the
ones.
old granddad I haven't had in forever.
Yep.
It's even back in the day, old granddad, that was way stiffer and way more harsh than the wild turkey was. Even at a lower proof, right? So,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'd have to try it.
That's fair.
I was going to say your palate's changed over the years, definitely, no
Oh,
matter what.
God,
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm actually very happy about this. This is going to just show up in my cabinet now. I like it a lot.
Just
I like
think
it-
how happy you're going to be after about 8 of them. I mean, that's perfect.
I like it a lot better than the Old Forester as far as an old fashioned is concerned, flat out. Like,
I can agree with that.
Nice. I can get
I can
behind
agree with
that.
that. All right,
You
who's
gotta
up
have
next?
your mixers. You gotta have your your straights. You gotta have your on the rocks, all that.
and
So
I'm
next
pouring a little
is
more.
John 2.
J2,
All
what's
right.
up?
So, my under 30 bottle is Gentleman Jack. Okay, so Gentleman Jack is if you were to take a bottom shelf whiskey and send it back to finishing school. Basically, it's the same exact mash bill as Jack Daniels. Obviously, same company, Jack Daniels. It's the same exact mash bill. It didn't exist before 1988, and it came about because people thought Jack Daniels was too harsh. Go figure. And I know when I say bottom shelf, it depends on what bar you're going to. Some bars that I go to, Jack Daniels is actually middle shelf and not bottom shelf. But
Yeah, but
That says a lot about you, John.
That says a lot about what you visit, man.
that's because I'm from Lowell.
that's Methuen. That doesn't count, man.
Yeah. Stories we'll tell a completely different podcast, John.
Hey,
So
20
here's
bucks,
the
20
trick,
bucks.
right? It's the same exact mash bill. Here's the trick. There's two filtrations that happen, once before barrel aging and once after, and it's sugar maple charcoal that they do it. And this gets rid of a lot of the impurities, and it actually makes it really kind of not as harsh. It's really smoother. And I got to tell you, I enjoy it. I think it's really good. And my favorite way to do it is neat, because it's only 80 proof, so it's pretty mild.
Okay.
So, you can do what you want with it, obviously. But the reason why so many people back in the 70s and 80s drank Jack and Coke is because Jack Daniels is harsh.
Yeah.
But this, this is really good. I mean, this is solid. My favorite thing to do is whenever I go camping, I have something I call a magic satchel. So I bring my magic satchel with me, which is my
This is a
smaller bag.
PG-rated show. I don't know where you're
This is my
going with
smaller
this,
bag. So
John.
what
too.
goes
That-
in here is my fire starter, my first aid kit, cigars, maybe some gummies, and a bottle of Gentleman Jack. That's
All right.
what goes in my magic satchel.
And,
For when I'm
and
around
some
the
duct
campfire.
tape and some rope and some twist. Yeah.
Visqueen and a shovel.
And John, I'll absolutely agree with you, because again, you can go and get Gentleman Jack and Nips, which are fantastic for skiing again.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
that'd be good.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is tough on your mind
it
because
really
you were
is solid.
today, but
What was that?
I said top on your mind because you were skiing today, but
Well, and I've had them while skiing, by the way. That's actually, I think that's the only time I've actually had Gentleman Jack is while skiing.
Also, shout out to Lando's because we have one viewer and he's enjoying it. So we
Yeah, he made a comment about, this is great for beginners getting into bourbon, and that's true. Like when you're a beginner, you want something that you can afford. You're not going to spend $150 on a bottle, but you don't want to go. If you start with the red label, you're never going to go back to whiskey.
No.
If you start with
and by the way,
Auchenchon-
just so you know,
Don't
this
feel like
Gentleman Jack is not a bourbon. Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. It's a Tennessee whiskey.
Yep.
But it is close. It's very close. I mean, especially this because it's like a slightly less harsh than some of the lower end bourbons.
We really need to have a show about what got us all into drinking at some point. Like, what was your entry drink?
what are you kidding me?
No, like the proper one. We're like, wow, I really enjoy this. Not just like, oh, I'm a teenager. I like going drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a whole lot of stories that we could tell
Yeah,
multiple different stories
That's a
on
much
that.
longer episode.
I was going to say, I always blame you guys.
We might have to hire Ken Burns for that because that's probably
We might. So we're going to move on to Larry, and just so you know, Larry's been on mute on and off because he's causing a little bit of feedback. So we're just going to let him go and then put him back on mute and let Larry do his thing.
Oh, I didn't realize I was causing some feedback, or else I just switched to a headset. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to be talking about bullet bourbon. So again, kind of like Chuck, I've got a 175, not the smaller bottle, because Bullet's one that I like to drink. I mean, it's a good all-around bourbon. With our theme of under 30, I think right now it's $28.99 in the state liquor store, so it fits in there perfect. Bullet's one of those. It's a tough one to try and describe. It's a good middle of the road bourbon, right? It's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. It's easy to drink. I like to call it my table wines of bourbon. It's again, I bought the 175 because, and you can see, it's not exactly full. This is my regular, what I'm having on any other, or basically any night that's not a special occasion. It is 90 proof, so it is a little bit higher proof, which is what I tend to go to with bourbons. But it's not as hot as you'd expect, right? Like to Tyler's point, the 100 proof bourbons are great. Well, the 100 proof whiskeys, not even bourbons, but the 100 proof whiskeys are fantastic if you're mixing. Bullet's great for mixing. Bullet's great for drinking neat.
It's one of my friends, like, it's one of my buddies' go-to. He gets the handle just like you do. That is his like go-to old-fashioned drink.
It's
I
really
get
at
the,
the
color-wise,
holiday
I
party.
mean, it's a nice color. It tastes good. It's easy to drink. You can drink it any which way you want. Great middle of the road. Doesn't punch you in the mouth like some of the higher proof bourbons, but when you drink it, you know you're drinking bourbon.
Yep.
Bullet was like the bourbon of COVID. Like the entire time I went through gallons of Bullet bourbon during the whole COVID thing.
Yep.
That's what I got, because you could pick up a big ass bottle fairly cheaply, bring it on home, and that was like the daily drinker.
Man,
So
And there was a lot
Bullet's
of daily
a
drinking.
perfectly surfaceable whiskey. And funny story. So most of us live in New England, and for some reason in New England, Chinese restaurants and comedy shows go together. So you'll go to a Chinese restaurant and they do a comedy show. And so I had a friend who was on stage at a comedy show. We went to visit him. I went to the bar. I said, "What do you have for bourbon?" And she had Jim Beam and Bullet. And I was like, "Okay, I'll do the Bullet."
Yep.
And she pulled up the Bullet, and there was a green label on it. And I was like,
Right.
"That's a rye, but that's okay. All right, I'll take that." And so she had enough for half a drink of the rye, and then she went and she pulled out another bottle that was the orange label. And she topped it off with the orange label. But I was like, did you just mix rye and bourbon? And she said, "It's a blend." And she handed it to me. And she's like, Boston, like, "Fuck you," kind of thing. And I was just like, all right.
That's great.
Oh, that's the first time I heard that story.
That's beautiful.
There's no such thing as a good bar at a Chinese restaurant. It's just basically here's some alcohol that happens at a
Right.
Chinese restaurant.
No, she was just
but the
slinging
pours
drinks
tend to be
because she didn't
real
have
heavy.
anything else to do. So
Pours tend to be real heavy at Chinese restaurants.
yeah, it
Used
was
to go
a
along with
decent
it,
pour.
yeah.
It was there's no doubt about it. It was a decent pour.
It can't be like if you order an old fashioned at a Chinese restaurant, they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, and then they look it up. You end up with, this size glass with, this much bourbon in it because they figure they got to fill it up, and it's just like, well, holy crap, that was a quart. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best
All right. Well, thank you, Larry. And then we're going to move on. And so Matt has not ever given us a headshot, and he has not chosen a title
No,
yet.
he did.
Oh,
Oh, no, I did. I got it.
He did.
All
What's
right.
your title?
Whiskey Mule.
Whiskey Mule. All right. So that's appropriate.
So you're
If you've
smuggling
if you ever
stuff?
stood next to Matt and looked up at him,
All the way from Louisiana and Texas.
yeah, and you know.
The whiskey mule.
So-
That's right.
Matt,
I think
what
you
have you
still have a
chosen?
bottle for me, Matt.
So today I chose just classic Maker's Mark. See if I can get it in focus here. It is actually the first thing I ever drank legally at a bar. And I haven't had it since. I figured I know a little bit more about whiskey these days. I should go back and give it another shot.
Good
And
job.
it also happened to be $28 at the Liquor and Wine Outlet.
Which
So
is an
it fit the bill.
absolute solid under the $30 mark. Absolutely okay.
Okay, well, there's
nips for
I-
steam.
Flame One. It is a
the
screw
choice.
top these days. It is not a cork. It is a screw top. So
Was it a screw top?
It is
that,
covered
that
in
is
wax,
absolutely
though.
a screw top.
It's true. Like after you get the paste stuff off the top.
you know what?
it's-
Yeah, the fanciness went away with the screw top. Like, why the
Yeah,
wax?
the,
But
the,
you
the
can't
fake
knock
wax.
screw tops,
Hey,
though.
Old Forester's got a screw top. Leave it alone.
It's
Yeah,
Weller
Old
has
Forester doesn't pretend to be something better.
No, but
That's true.
I like Old Forester.
I do
and
drink
like
it out of a
Varsity.
paper bag.
all right. In fairness, though, Weller has screw top too, all the way up to the
That is
12-year-old.
true. The
Yeah.
special. Oh, the 12-year-old does?
It does, 100%.
Wow.
Yep.
I knew the special reserve.
There's an argument to be made that a screw top actually provides, if it's got a nice plastic, interior, you can actually get a much better seal than you can with a cork these days. But that's a whole separate topic, and we'll get into that on a different
Again,
podcast.
I'm more about ambiance. I think it's like a very little freaking difference. And you know what? I like a cork because
Well, you
I
kind of
like
want
a
that.
cork because it's traditional more than anything.
Yeah,
You got to have that.
It
Just-
actually,
I'm a
it actually
fancy
has
guy.
the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, the sound is nice, but that's okay.
Once upon a time, anything with a screw top really wasn't worth drinking. These
Wait,
days, that's
what's-
different. But
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
upon a time,
that's your Mad Dog 2020s and such. So
Irish Rose.
it is better than I remember.
Quite the same.
So tell me what do you or do you not like Maker's Mark? And is
I actually
the
liked it.
first word out of your mouth?
No,
screw?
Ken, don't lead it. I
No,
wanna
he
hear
didn't have to
Matt's
lead it. I was
review.
actually going to say it is very, very sweet.
And
Okay.
what
It is
what is
incredibly
the first
sweet.
what is the first note that you get from it? What is the
Sweet.
taste? But aside from sweet, like something
A
specific.
little bit of vanilla, I guess.
Oh,
Oh, see, it's. I think
I would
think
have thought
rest
the
of us-
cherry.
I was gonna say the
Yeah,
rest of us would say
everyone's
cherry.
looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the second taste.
Yeah.
okay.
It's got to cut through the sweet. Vanilla goes with the sweet. The cherry
Yeah.
comes after the sweet.
Hey,
I absolutely love Maker's Mark. I'm sorry.
It's good.
I do not have a problem with it whatsoever. Like if I see that at a bar, I'll absolutely order that if I'm looking for something like inexpensive.
there's always a big handle at my dad's, and that's
Like
what
you got to
that's
go
what we
down the
drink. It's great.
road of like what you want. Actually, okay, blah 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 blah. Yeah, Maker's Mark. Okay, fine.
But
The
but-
other versions of Maker's Mark, the upscale Maker's Mark
Yeah.
versions, all of them are awesome.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
They're-
they're good.
They're really really good. I just find the base level Maker's Mark to be a little
It's a
more
dessert
cherry than I want.
but it,
I would drink it as a dessert drink. I wouldn't drink it as like a, after work.
yeah,
For that, I'd go for the Larceny or for the.
is
Old
it 90
Forester.
proof, Matt?
Yes.
Yep. And so it's again, it's a weak old fashioned. It'll be sweeter. That'd actually probably go well with a probably not Angostura bitters, but probably walnut bitters might be a nice offset actually. Oh
Yeah.
Pichon bitters would be really good with it actually.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think I ever said the Gentleman Jack was $29.99 New Hampshire.
Okay.
So
You
that is a
overpaid.
good clarification.
Right into the
Is
It was
that your
$2
mileage may
cheaper
vary
today.
depending on your state. You may not be able to find what we're talking about for under $30 because some of them went right up to that limit. But
And
I'll tell you what,
this
Jim
is
Beam.
Real quick,
$29.99.
I have a bonus one that nobody did pick.
Oh.
I'm going to pull out the Buffalo Trace.
Oh.
Now, this is
Oh, yeah.
harder to find, right? But it's becoming much more easier now.
Yeah.
I think I paid $23 for this for the 750. I just got another one for like $30 at the 1 liter.
Yeah. That's great.
Definitely becoming more findable, more,
So-
easier to find now.
And
This is
good
one of
catch,
those things that's typically on what do they call that?
Allocation.
Allocation. Thank you, Tom.
I was reading that like the whole like the thing that they do like in New Hampshire where most of us are at the allocation where basically they have a run at the store. We got a whole thing about it's all manufactured bullshit that Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace does
So-
from a
But Buffalo Trace is supposed to be fully off of it, like I think this year actually. I think
Yeah.
they're
Well-
supposed to be off allocation.
Yeah,
Well,
shout
so-
out to Maine because you can buy Buffalo Trace in the gas stations in Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
every single gas station you pull in there, you get
We've
a
done it.
get a bottle
So,
of that.
so
Yeah.
the
We have.
Buffalo Trace, I found it up here in North Carolina. I just happened to walk into the store and they happen to have a shelf of Eagle Rare, which is another one perfect for
Nice.
this type of thing.
Let's pay for it.
$45, something around
Yeah,
that
that's
time.
your under 50.
And I even scored Blanton's. So they're starting to become more. For what?
What price?
So like I said, the Buffalo Trace was a little over 30 for the 1 liters. It was like 24, I think, for the 750. The Eagle Rare was 44.95,
Oh, it's a good
I
price.
think. And then the Blanton's was 79.99.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what-
whatever
So
they
we'll,
put it.
we'll do an under 50 at some point, the 30 to 50 range, and Eagle
we're-
Rare
we're
has a
gonna
bunch
open
of
up so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eagle Rare is actually one of my favorites in that realm.
The last time that they had like was a couple of weeks ago, they had the running of the D-Gens where they like dropped whiskey all over the place. And
Yeah.
I didn't know about it, but I just happened to be walking into the Portsmouth store and the only thing that was left was the Buffalo Trace. And I picked up like 4 bottles of it because you know what the hell, it was like 25
Yeah,
bucks,
I
right?
picked up 2
And
myself.
I actually
Everything
visited
else-
the Buffalo.
Everything else was just gone. Like the D-Gens went in there day one and took it all out.
I found that Buffalo Trace makes a fantastic old fashioned, by the way.
Yes,
It does. It's a
it very
good-
much so does.
It really
Yeah.
does.
And I think
visited the
Buffalo
Buffalo
Trace, what is it, 90?
Based on tonight's episode, this one does better.
So that,
You want something a little
that's show we
hotter.
should
You want
have at
something a
some
little
point
hotter.
is-
Yeah.
it's
I
So
agree with
yeah,
that.
so Buffalo Trace is 90 proof,
Yep.
right? 45%. So it is kind of in that middle
Yeah.
ground in between what I'll call the typical Old Forester, the standard bourbon, and the 101 there.
But if you're looking to have 3 or 4 old fashions, that's a solid drink.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
picked up a
When are
couple- I
you
was
not
at the-
looking to have 3 or
Yeah,
4?
right.
When I'm looking to have 3 or
That's a
4 on
good
the
call.
rocks.
Well, when I'm trying to cut down on my sugar, then I'll just might go for the straight bourbon.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
There is that.
Speaking of sugar, I was at the Buffalo Trace Distillery about 12 years ago, and we were on a bourbon tour, and that's when I first discovered Buffalo Trace. But you know what else they sell, which is really nice? Speaking of sugar, they have a Buffalo Trace bourbon cream liqueur.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god!
Is it good?
It's so good.
I saw that.
Just
I
put
did
it
not
ice-
pick it up.
Oh my
So
god!
here's the weird
So
thing.
good.
For whatever the reason, like the last 3 times I had to fly overseas, the airplanes were serving that
Yes,
as a
yes,
thing.
it's
right?
unbelievable.
But
But-
it's
so-
like, can I have a cup of coffee and like 3 of those Buffalo Trace?
Yep.
Fantastic
Yeah.
coffee.
An important
Yeah,
note,
but
though, because
It is awesome.
I love those in
Absolutely
coffee, but like a lot of times they have 750s or so. As soon as you open them, they need to be refrigerated.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like a Bailey's.
On the ball, you
You
don't think
just need
it's
these things and you just like deal with them.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't
But
have
I
to be
mean, at the end of the
refrigerated
day,
immediately, but
any
eventually
bourbon
you get
cream is great,
It is.
right? It's hard to screw up a bourbon cream, but you put a good, decent like a Buffalo Trace in there, and that's going to be like one level above.
But
Yeah.
It's
you know,
delicious.
I mean,
Absolutely.
any bourbon cream is great. Any bourbon cream that all of a sudden shows up in your seat on an airplane when you're like
There you go.
miserably flying
JetBlue.
across the ocean,
JetBlue serves it.
it's just like, really? You guys
Sorry,
have
any
this?
whiskey that showed up your seat when you weren't
I know.
expecting it was good. Like when I walked him back to you multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a message from God.
Yeah.
Mission from God.
I got cut off on that flight, by the way.
Well, that's because you kept handing it off to Ken.
Yeah,
All right.
thought I drank them all
I'm
myself.
gonna need another 4.
So I
All
think
right.
that's going to wrap us up. And so I want to thank everybody for bringing your A game and talking about your great whiskeys under $30. It is absolutely possible to enjoy a whiskey under $30. We've all talked about it. Whatever your taste is, you want to go more sweet, you want to go more smoky, you want to go more cherry, whatever it is that you want, you can get. The thing is to make sure you understand what you like and then go with that. If you have
And-
questions,
wait, wait,
send
and-
email to info
and-
at whiskeybusiness.us. We will help you answer them. And Tyler, you can have the
I
final
just
word.
want to say, drink the whiskey the way you like it.
Yes.
On the rocks,
No rules.
straight,
No rules.
with
No,
water,
whatever way
in a
you
mixer,
like it.
with Coca-Cola, whatever it is, the way you like it, you can drink it. You're not wrong.
Absolutely.
Yep, and bourbon with more.
You will be judged, but you're not wrong.
And with that, Whiskey Business.